right, Black and White Network supporters, it's Monday morning, and you know what time it is. It is time for the check-in on the carnage and the destruction, the urban mayhem, if you will, in the city of Chicago. That's right, Brandon Johnson's Chicago, the hellhole, the Democratic Socialist hellhole known as Chicago. Residents up there are still furious, as we know, and Brandon Johnson's talking about going and visiting the border. All right. Hey, the people that live in Chicago, they're probably more concerned about 21 people being shot over the weekend and 4 dying, and the fact that you refuse to remove Chicago from its sanctuary status. And you did that. You guys did that. How you voted did that. All right? That's why you're seeing these migrants posted up everywhere, them getting special treatment while so many Chicago residents are dying from collateral damage from urban warfare. I mean, guys, really and truly, you got to think about when you vote big and local, what are you doing to yourself? It's a real issue. It continues to be a real issue. Let's get to this. My goodness. And then we will go to a resident that sent a letter, a very strong letter, to the Chicago Sun-Times about the fact that Brandon Johnson crawled into bed with Bally's Casino, and how, of course, as you can imagine, Lori Lightfoot, Brandon Johnson, promised the residents up there the world as long as they agreed to bring in the casino. And this resident, anyway, is not believing it, not buying into it. So we're going to look at that as well. At least 21 shot, 4 killed in weekend gun violence across the city. CPD states it's 9:42 in the a.m. on the 16th Monday. So you've got to wonder, is this going to be the finale death tally? I don't know. At least 21 people have been shot, 4 fatally in gun violence across Chicago this weekend, police said. 2 men were killed in separate shootings on the city's west side early Sunday, Chicago police said. 1 died after being unresponsive with a gunshot wound Sunday in the University Village neighborhood. The victim sustained 1 gunshot wound to the back, was taken to Stroger Hospital, initially in critical condition, later pronounced dead. Witnesses told officers 4 males ran from the scene after firing shots at a victim's vehicle. It is just simply not safe to be driving. Like, if you're in Chicago, don't drive. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know if he was sitting at a stoplight. They ran up on him, shot him. I don't know how that happened or what happened. Maybe he was sitting, for all we know, in a McDonald's parking lot eating a sausage biscuit and caught a cap in his ass. We just don't know. No suspects were identified. No arrests were made. Of course, there wasn't. The other man was killed early Sunday on the west side, was shot in the heart of Chicago neighborhood. Was shot in the heart? Chicago? I don't know. Police said officers were responding to calls of shots fired, 1900 block of South Polina Street, and found a man, 21-year-old, lying on the ground, multiple gunshot wounds around 12:50 a.m. It's crazy. And look at this one, folks. A 72-year-old woman and a 32-year-old man were shot when someone opened fire around 4:40 p.m. near Emmanuel Chapel's funeral home. What? You're at a funeral home? Guys, I've seen this happen. We've heard of this happen before in and around funeral homes in some of these war zones. I mean, look, these hoodlums are not going to respect the fact that somebody might be having a funeral or getting buried, or that they're having a memorial. Nah, they don't care. They have no morals and value sets, no moral compass. If they do have a moral compass, I'm sure it's pointed straight to hell. So, I mean, what does it matter? A 72-year-old woman near a funeral home. Wow. It's crazy. Every week, these seem to get just worse and worse. There's always one or two that really strikes your attention, like that one. A lot of times, unfortunately, it is children that end up getting caught up in this and got shot. But you got a 72-year-old woman that's lived her whole life only to catch a bullet. Or in urban warfare, it's crazy. Baltazar Gonzalez Jr., 23, was standing near a sidewalk about 440 in the 3400 block of West 24th Street when someone fired shots, striking him in the head, Chicago police and Cook County Medical Examiner's Office said. Wow. So 21 shot, four dead, and a 72-year-old woman struck in the mayhem. But congratulations, you got yourself a casino. So that's going to make things all better. Except this Chicago resident was not feeling this way when they wrote a letter to the editor of the Sun-Times. Mayor Johnson is wrong. Bally's Casino won't secure a fiscally strong and vibrant future for Chicago. Lori Lightfoot and Brandon Johnson are wrong? Say it isn't so. The hell you say. That's so hard to believe with their solid as a rock track record in Chicago. If history is any guide, Mayor Brandon Johnson will come to regret his choice of words at the ribbon cutting for Bally's temporary casino. Quote, this project is going to secure Chicago's fiscally strong and vibrant future, Johnson said at the ceremony. I'm surprised he had time to do that. Surprised he wasn't worried about the safety of the migrants. We know he's not worried about the safety of citizens, so there's that. This hyperbole is a new standard around new casinos, but anyone with any casual knowledge of Chicago's political and fiscal management knows better. So they're just telling you right there, even if the casino actually does manufacture a large amount of money for Chicago, the city of Chicago, and yeah, shitty of Chicago, their leaders will screw that up. Will mismanage the money. Lord knows they'll spend it on migrants or something else frivolous, not the actual citizens and their safety, or refunding the police. He's telling you, this resident is telling you, fiscal management. In other words, they're going to ruin it. They'll blow the money. They're not going to spend it responsibly on the citizens of Chicago. The casino will secure nothing. It is a shiny, noisy, glitzy distraction that allows well-connected to get wealthier at the expense of hardworking Chicago families and individuals who will lose their paychecks there. The Sun-Times has been unveiling how former Mayor Lori Lightfoot stacked the deck for Bally's and its legion of insiders to win the contract. The ethical concerns are no trivial matter. So Lightfoot, the great Brittany Griner trifecta of wokeness, black, lesbian, woman, she was involved in this disaster as well. My goodness. No one can answer why Bally's needs such a long lease if their plan to make a casino will open in 2026. Coincidences don't happen in the process of awarding casino licenses or in the mayor's office. That's a fact. They are right about that. Nothing's by accident. It is planned out. The Sun-Times stories demonstrate the Chicago casino is more about taking care of the wealthy and powerful than securing a vibrant future for Chicago families. If Johnson is correct and Chicago's fiscal future is tied to Bally's, it's not looking good. The company has already has billions in debt, a negative credit rating, and a stock price that reaches new lows daily. While Johnson inherited Bally's, he's ignored the ethical concerns with their selection and has staked his mayoral administration on questionable regional casino operator managed out of New York's hedge fund boardroom. Damn. That Chicago citizen did not hold back at all. My favorite part of that is just calling Chicago out for their management of money. And if they do make money, it's not going to go to the citizens and in the right places to begin with. Wow. That's really good. Look, there seems to be and I'm going to call it this, a minority, a small group of Chicago residents up there that are starting to really get it, I think. Okay? Whether or not that translates to how they decide to vote for mayor and president of the United States and governor, I don't know. I don't know. That you just got to wonder, is what happened with the migrants and the fact that some of their kids are getting kicked out of their sports complexes and things like, will the migrant issue finally be the thing that flips people's thinking around when they get in the voting booth? I find that hard to believe, because if you put up with all of this urban violence and warfare up there for this long, and you haven't realized it's tied to who is running your city and what political allegiance they've got, I don't know what will wake you up. Your own residents have been dying there forever, and you still vote blue. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Tell me what you think, Black and White Network supporters. Wow. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.